Welcome to Science Fiction Saturday, Volume 2. We're going to talk, we're going to still working our way through this book here, Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles. Specifically, we're going through the August 2030 entry of The Summer Night and the August 2030 Earthmen. So, Summer Night is about a Martian, I guess, what would you say? Gala? Like opera, where they start singing. The person starts singing. Remember, Martians are telepathic, but the lady starts singing, and what comes out is English. And she stops and holds her throat and is all worried and concerned because, and I'll read the first chunk of her song as she walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes. The singer clasped her hands to her mouth. She stood bewildered, and everyone asks, "What's that?" And then the musicians are all like, what did we just play? I don't even know. And they don't know what's happened because they're playing music they don't know. She's speaking a language she doesn't know. And people don't even understand it so much. And so she tries again and she sings again. And the children start singing too. And in many ways, the society in and of itself is starting to get worried because this has happened a bit. People are, I'm not sure if it's actually in this story. Maybe we've already talked about the one. No, so there you go. In 1,000 villas in the middle of the night, women awoke screaming. They had to be soothed while the tears ran down their faces. There, sleep. What's wrong, a dream? Something terrible will happen in the morning. So they're dreaming. Remember in the first stories we had, the one Martian lady, she had a premonition that humans were coming. That was the first expedition. And so these, again, are having a premonition of that humans are coming again. And then we get to the second expedition, where we meet Mrs. TTT. An Earthmen come to her and they say, hey, you speak English, this is amazing. And what it really comes down to is that she is, they're telepathic, and the Earthmen don't know this because they haven't heard from the first expedition. Remember, they got killed. And so they sent more people. We have Captain Williams come and a couple other people. They're the second expedition. What happens in this one is they meet 3 or 4 people, and they keep kind of getting sent to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. And finally they're like, oh, great, this is awesome. We're going to, we're going to get to where we need to go. And where they end up realizing they are kind of through the night, because they go into this room and they realize, hey, we're locked in here, but everyone's happy. And they're like, okay, but this doesn't seem right, because everyone starts claiming, well, I'm from Earth. And they start naming things that aren't on Earth. And the people are like, what? That doesn't make any sense. What they realize is that they got sent to an insane asylum. So one of the things that Martians have assumed as these people come up is that they are insane and they're projecting their telepathy into the other people's heads so that they don't, so you're insane and you're projecting your telepathy into my head and I can't distinguish from it, right? And actually, they try to convince the doctor, because they sign, oh yeah, we'll sign, and they actually sign that say you can kill us. Euthanasia is okay, because we are so far. Even in the night, they see the other people putting their insanity into the Earthmen's heads, and they're like, oh, that's what happens. And so they see the psychologist, and they take the psychologist at the ship, and the ship, they're like, this will prove it because he can touch it. And the psychologist is nothing but amazed that no matter touching them, he can touch it. All the intricate details of the ship, that all the people in the back, can talk, and then he can touch them, and you've done this, the best, you're the best insane person we've ever had. You can project all your thoughts across me and across other people, and this is the best. And so he shoots them shoots them all. And as he shoots them all, he looks at it and he's like, and some horror comes over him. And I'm thinking, oh, this will be great. He realizes that these people were real, and that this isn't it wasn't a hallucination. It was real. These were people from another planet, people from another planet, and that's not what happens. He said, "Oh no, this is manifested in myself. Your insanity was so strong, your telepathy was so strong that I am now insane because of interacting with you." And so he shoots himself. And I read that and I thought, oh, even in the first one where they talk about the night and the concert, you can feel despair, and partially in the Martian people. And that actually follows through in some of the next stories. The despair of what was coming for them that they didn't even know about. And then, and the despair, and then not recognizing that these things, these humans, were actually something, right? He says it persists. They persist. He fired his gun and again at the bodies, and then he stood back. The smiling mask dropped from his face. And that's where I was like, oh, sweet, like he's gonna realize what happened. And he doesn't. Hallucination, taste, sight, sound, feeling. He waves his hands, his eyes bulged, his mouth gave off a faint froth. Go away, he shouted, go away. Only one cure, only to make them go away, vanish. And he shoots himself. Mr. XXX falls. So, and when this bears out later, for sure. And really, it's written from an American perspective later in the book, like an American colonialism colonizing this other planet. And we'll get to what happens to the Martians. But America does colonize the planet. And they say America because they say later on that, we don't let other people in because we are here. America has the rockets, so everyone just has to watch us blast off this, planet that we've destroyed in 2030, or that's being destroyed and moving out somewhere else. So, yeah, when I finished those two, I was like, in some ways, left with a bit of despair, like sadness for the Martian people, for the astronauts, for the rocket men that went off and were deemed insane by Mars, and then for the Martian doctor who says like, I'm insane too. I don't believe this, and he's insane, and he shoots himself. So, that was science fiction. I was going to say Science Friday, but it's Science Fiction Saturday, Volume 2. What's the date for this one? I don't know. We're recording early. For March 28th, Science Fiction Saturday, Science Fiction Friday, Science Fiction Saturday, Volume 2, The Summer Night Earthmen, out of Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you loved it, you can subscribe. Don't hit the bell. You got better things to do, like read a book, hang with your kids, something like that. If you have other science fiction you think I should talk about, then by all means, shoot me an email. Leave it in the comments. I would love to hear about what other science fiction you'd like me to talk about as I go through short stories and different science fiction over the next number of months, weekly. Have a great day.